Okay, Wildcat, stay with that. Journal page 38, standard form to vertex form. Steps to transform standard form to vertex form. Step 1, factor so the coefficient of x squared is 1. Step 2, set up to complete the square. Step 3, add b divided by 2 squared. Because b divided by 2 squared is multiplied by the a value, you must subtract a times b divided by 2 squared. Step 4, factor. Step 5, simplify. Okay, if you would, update your notes. Okay, now your notes are complete. Let's take a look at the examples. Journal page 38. Transform the quadratic function from standard form to vertex form. Then identify the vertex. Okay, so first things first, we're going to factor so the coefficient of x squared is 1. Well, the coefficient of x squared is 1, so now we're going to step 2, complete the square. So that's y equals 1x squared plus 24x. And I'm going to factor out a 1, because the only thing you can divide from x squared and 24x is 1. Okay? And then plus 145. Okay? Now, we're going to take this 24 divided by 2 and square it. So plus 24 divided by 2 squared. But you can't just add something to an equation. Okay? So we have to subtract that out so it's balanced. Okay? But we have to multiply by 1. So minus 1 times 24 divided by 2 squared. So in actuality, we really haven't added anything because this minus this is 0, but we're manipulating the equation so we can put it in vertex form. Okay, so then that's y equals 1 parentheses x squared plus 24x plus 24 divided by 2 is 12. 12 squared is 144. Plus 145 minus 144. So then you have y equals 1. We can now factor this. And 145 minus 144 is plus 1. We know that x times x makes x squared. And then we already found the factor because the factor is 24 divided by 2, which is 12. So plus 12 plus 12. And we know that works because 12 plus 12 is 24, and 12 times 12 is 144. And then last step, this is y equals 1, parentheses x plus 12 squared plus 1. So the vertex is negative 12, comma 1. Because remember, in the equation, this is y, put right here, y equals a, parentheses x, minus h squared plus k. So in order to have a positive value here, this has to be negative. So that's why that's negative 12. Okay, go ahead and finish up example 1. All right, example 2. Okay, so we're going to factor so the coefficient of x squared is 1, okay, which we do have. So then that's f of x equals, we're going to factor the 1 from the first two terms, 1, parentheses 1x squared plus 10x minus 13. Now, to complete the square, we're going to divide 10 by 2 and square it. So plus 10 divided by 2 squared. But you can't just add something, you have to subtract it back out. But you can't forget you're multiplying by 1. So minus 1 times 10 divided by 2 squared. So then that's f of x equals 1 parentheses 1x squared plus 10x plus 10 divided by 2 is 5. 5 squared is 25. Then negative 13 minus 25. Okay. So then we're going to factor this. So that's f of x equals 1 parentheses minus 38. So then that's x, and we already found the factor because 10 divided by 2 is 5. And we know it works because 5 plus 5 is 10. 5 times 5 is 25. So then this is f of x equals 1 parentheses x plus 5 squared minus 38. And in order for that to be positive, h has to be negative. So your vertex is negative 5, negative 38. Okay, go ahead and finish example 2. All right, example 3. So we need a factor, so the coefficient of x squared is 1. So that's h of x, and we're only factoring from the first two terms. We're going to divide both of these by 2. So that's 2 times 1x squared, because 2 divided by 2 is 1, minus 4x, because 8 divided by 2 is 4, and plus 3. Now we're going to take the middle number divided by 2 and squared. So it's plus negative 4 divided by 2 squared, but you have to subtract it out, but multiplying by 2. So minus 2 times negative 4 divided by 2 squared. So then that's h of x equals 2 parentheses 1x squared minus 4x. And then negative 4 divided by 2 is negative 2 squared is a positive 4. And then that's plus 3 minus 2 times 4 is 8. So then we're going to factor this. So it's h of x equals 2 parentheses minus 5. We know x and x makes x squared. And then we already know the middle term is negative 2 because negative 4 divided by 2 is negative 2. And this works because negative 2 and negative 2 makes negative 4, and negative 2 times negative 2 is positive 4. So then h of x equals 2 parentheses x minus 2 squared minus 5. So the vertex is 2 comma negative 5. All right, go ahead and finish up example 3. All right, example 4. Okay, we're going to divide the first two terms by 3, so that's y equals 3, 1x squared minus 4x minus 4. And that works because negative 12 divided by 3 is negative 4, and 3 divided by 3 is 1. I'm going to complete the square, so that's plus negative 4 divided by 2 squared, and then minus 3 times negative 4 divided by 2 squared. So then that's y equals 3, parentheses 1x squared minus 4x plus 4 minus 4 minus, that's, let's see, 4 times 3 is negative 16. So then y equals 3, parentheses minus 20. We know x and x minus 2 minus 2. So y equals 3, parentheses x minus 2 squared minus 20. So your vertex is 2 comma negative 20. I think there's a minor mistake. Let me correct this. Negative 4 divided by 2 is negative 2. 3 times 4 is 12. Now, this is a good opportunity when you make mistakes to know you don't need to start completely over. You can just find your mistake and then correct it through the problem. So then this is 12. Negative 4, negative 12 is negative 16. And so this is minus 16. So again, you can see that I made a mistake here, but you didn't have to start the whole problem over. You just fixed this mistake and then fix it through the problem. Okay? All right, so with that, if you would, start working on your assignment and have a wonderful Wildcat day.